Good morning. My name is Daniel. Welcome to Orchard Park Secondary School, former FRC Team 2056. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me throughout the day. If I can answer them, I will answer when we can. I would like to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker, Ramraj. Presenting FTC SIM web-based coding simulator. This is Lisa from the FIRST in Canada FTC program.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm going to, so yeah, you are here we're going to talk about FTC SIM, and then we can close the conversation and talk a little bit more about FTC. So just to confirm, new FTC team, right, that you guys want to start. Perfect. You're an FTC team, FRC team member. Yeah, critical circuits. You are also FRC. Well, FTC SIM can kind of be applied to all these programs. So I will talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into FTC stuff. So just to recap intros, my name is Lisa Ramraj. I studied mechanical engineering at the University of Waterloo after many, many years of being on the FIRST team. I'm an alumni. I went through the program myself on Team 1310. I've been a mentor, and now I'm the First Tech Challenge Program Manager at FIRST Robotics Canada. My favorite animal is a polar bear, and my favorite color is red, as you can probably tell.
I thought it was the red panda.
I know, it's like, polar bear is still number one, and like red panda is such a close second because obviously red. Okay, so what is FTC SIM? It's a virtual coding tool for FIRST Tech Challenge blocks and on-bot Java programming, and it allows users to run a virtual FIRST Tech Challenge robot autonomously and for free. It's a really great way to get others to try their hand at coding in an easy-to-use environment. This is kind of what it looks like with programming in blocks. This is what it looks like programming in Java. So you can do text-based if you want, but if you're starting off with only knowledge of blocks, you can also start there. You can also do pretty complex like programming in field layouts, which is, it kind of gets really fun. Like you're just like, okay, how do I do this? And you kind of figure it out as you go. So we'll take a quick tour. When you first log onto FTC SIM, you will see this page, and the first thing you'll probably see is like join the new competition, because we actually put our competition fields in there. And as you scroll down, you'll kind of get to the part where it's like start your robotics adventure. And the whole idea is that there's different modules that as you go through starting an FTC movement, you learn everything from how to make the robot go forward and backwards to how to use sensors and like different servos and different motors and things like that. So if you follow everything from FTC movement onwards, you're going to get a great grasp of how to program an FTC. We also have teacher resources, and the idea behind that is that we wanted to provide resources for teachers so that they can add coding to their classrooms. And later on we'll show like we actually have lesson plans and things like that. If you ever hear of someone that's like, I don't know how to teach this, it's like, hey, you can incorporate robots like this. As you scroll a little further down, you'll see some of our challenges that we've kind of implemented into FTC SIM to kind of entice you to want to learn more. So we have the Arena Challenge, which is like a monthly challenge. It's a new puzzle, and you kind of get ranked up against other people. It's just really cool. We also have FTC Multiplayer, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but it's really fun. A few testimonials, some free online sessions, and then, of course, we want to show people what the events look like. So we have some promo for our FIRST Tech Challenge itself, and then frequently asked questions. Types of accounts, you'll kind of notice that there's two types of accounts. There's an individual account and a teacher account. Only thing special about the teacher account is that you can create logins for your students. So it's like, let's say you're doing an outreach event. You might want to, like with 10 kids or like 20 kids that are new, you might want to create a teacher account and then create logins. It's like this camp student 1, student 2, student 3, and kind of set up the logins for them so they're not going in and making their own. So just an example. The other cool thing about the teacher account is that you can assign puzzles and like assign things to the students, which is pretty cool, and like kind of keep track of like what they're doing. You know, okay. This goes into kind of accounts. This is more of a teacher-facing thing, but like learning pathways. So the idea is you start an FTC movement, then you can go to Grabby or sensors. And then once you master sensors, or once you get through those, you can do everything from the puzzles to the First Tech Challenge fields to FTC Golf or the arena. This stuff is very teacher-facing in terms of learning objectives. So if you ever come across someone that wants to know how to teach coding in a classroom, we have the objectives tied directly to the different modules. The next few slides kind of explain how that works and like where you'd learn a new skill and then where you practice your skill. So we're just going to skip through those. Okay, yeah. So to just touch on some of the other stuff like I was mentioning. So the arena challenge really is a skill integration challenge. So once you've kind of gone through all the puzzles, it's a monthly challenge, which is super fun. The cool thing is not only are you ranked against everyone else that's doing the challenge, at midnight, it saves the top 10. And then the next day you can actually play them to see like, okay, who's like, what path are people taking? Like who's actually winning this, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Like I mentioned, we have the First Tech Challenge fields in here. So the last couple of years, we've worked with First headquarters to launch the First Tech Challenge field right at kickoff. So even before you have a physical field or a robot to be able to practice on, you can kind of experience what the game would be like, map out auto positions, kind of play with a really basic robot on the field to kind of see, okay, what do we want to do? Where do we want to, what our paths are? What can this look like? And it really gives you perspective on like how large your robot is and like how long it'll take you to get across the field and things like that. So this year's game is in the bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, it's Into the Deep. And it's a sandbox mode, so you can really do anything in the game. Some of our cool features is that we have a versioning system because we're always trying to make FTC Sim better. But let's say you're wondering why your code like a month ago, if you upgraded, if you've gone to the latest version, because there's always little bugs and things that we want to fix, and maybe your timings for your code all of a sudden don't work. We don't want that for at least like the season or for when teachers are using it. So you can always revert to a specific version so that all of your timings and your sensors and your distances work. But yeah, we're always trying to make improvements, make it balance that, making it realistic versus making it repeatable. So that's why we implemented that. We have in all of the puzzles, there's a very basic drivetrain of two motor back wheel drive. Cannot for the life of me remember what that's called now. It's not that, but in FTC, a very common drive base is a mechanical wheel drive base. So we wanted to implement a way for teams to learn how to do that. So in all of our competition fields, there is a mechanical wheel robot. So you can practice how to code that specifically. We have a guided onboarding experience where you will run into me, who will kind of walk you through all of the puzzles that when it introduces a new concept, I will automatically pop up with the dog's name is Dozer to walk you through it. Again, about the teachers portal, we have lesson plans that are set from like beginner, intermediate, advanced. So yeah, this is kind of just like a fun to know if anyone is ever, if you run into a teacher who's interested in teaching coding. It's geared towards grades 4 to 8 because we wanted to make it easier for them to implement it into their curriculum. And lesson plans kind of look at that, and they go through everything. Okay, so a really cool feature that we have is called World Builder. And the idea is that you can create any types of puzzles that you want, just out of sheer curiosity, or like teachers can use it to like create puzzles to test certain skills. and things like that. So it's really fun to like go in, like personally, it's really fun to go in and like it just build a new world. And you can actually build in our classroom environment or in our golf environment, which is like this cool like greenscape. And you essentially have everything that we use, all the features that we use to make our puzzles are in there. So you can you can change the size of everything, you can change the scope, you have access to all of the touch sensors, all the pressure sensors, things like that. It's really fun. Oh, I thought there was a video here. And I want to play this faster just so you can kind of see just like how that's even too slow. But when we made it, when we made the feature of World Builder, we essentially rebuilt all of our puzzles using it. Makes things so much faster. Yeah, you can get super creative and you can see other people's puzzles that they've created on the Explore page and kind of do those. And one of the cool things is that you can actually use your puzzles in the golf game, which I'm now realizing that I might not have a slide for, which is unfortunate, but I can talk through it. But yeah, you can put your puzzle in like all these different places in golf. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. Oh, so for some reason I don't have a golf slide, which is unfortunate because it's really cool. So I'm just going to use this to like talk about it. So the idea of golf was like, has anyone played golf with friends? Okay, so it's like that concept, but with robots and the flag. So you can have lobbies of up to like 10 people, I think, and essentially it's you pick one of the courses which has like 3 of these maps in it, and the goal is to get to the flag before like anyone else. And you can we only have it like ghost mode of like golf with friends, so you don't like run into each other, but you can see who's going on like what path they're taking. And we have 5 different levels that are 5 different courses that are preset, so it like goes from easy to like really, really hard. But the fun thing about World Builder is that let's say you build your own free puzzles, you can load those into golf and like play your puzzles with your friends too. So we kind of built it so that let's say you're doing an outreach activity and you're doing like a camp or something, and you've had them go through all the modules to learn how to use sensors and stuff, and then you want to create like a fun end activity. You can make puzzles that they've never seen before and then have them play like that. So that was kind of the idea. I feel like I'm missing another slide, but I can't remember. Well, anyway, you can use FTC STEM to teach blocks or on-bot Java programming in a classroom, in person or online. We did a lot of this for a couple of years, just ourselves, but anyone can really do it. You can transition from FIRST LEGO League to FIRST Tech Challenge programming, because lots of FIRST LEGO League, they'll still use blocks. And one of the cool features that we have is that if you do everything in blocks, you can actually click the on-bot Java tab and it'll ask you if you want to convert it to on-bot Java. So it's like, let's say you have no idea about the syntax or anything, you can kind of learn it from like what you understand and go from there. You can also just click straight to on-bot Java and just text code. So that's totally fine. You can train FIRST Tech Challenge team members. Kind of like we've had this site for like 4 years now, and we've had a bunch of feedback that like veteran teams will have their kids start with this, especially in that time where like you're waiting for your robot kit and stuff like that. It's a good way to like get familiar with it. So when you have your control hub and everything like that, you start coding and you're like, oh, I kind of know how to do this. You can use it to introduce robotics to your community. So FIRST Tech Challenge teams or FIRST Robotics competition teams can use it as outreach. So sometimes the barrier to outreach is that you don't have equipment. But this is by using FTC Sim, you can kind of use the laptops that the students already have, or just in a computer lab to run some sort of camp. So we have a curriculum, like a camp curriculum that we did like 5 days, some sort of thing. And we've had multiple teams run virtual camps, March break camps using it, which is really cool. Hour of code is also a really big thing. So schools are always looking for ways to do hour of code activities that like relate to either like science, math, or robotics itself. We are actually listed on the Hour of Code website. So you can do it from there too. This is like, yeah, my slides are out of order. And then we also have a super fun, like a few new features in terms of like supporting FTC Sim. So far, FTC Sim will always be free. That's the reason that we made it. We made it so that anyone can use it. We're in the process of developing. We're trying to make it more sustainable. So we've got some new cool features where, yeah, little fun hats, stuff like that. So that's just about support. All right, any questions about FTC Sim specifically?
If two students have an account, can they share code? Is there a way for them to switch code, like share code back and forth? Or can they work at the same time?
At the same time, no, but you can like yourself. You can copy code. Actually, that's interesting. I wonder if two students logged in onto like the same browser. I feel like you should be able to copy code from one to the other, because you can copy code from one puzzle to the other. But then, other than that, like mostly it's just working together, like side by side kind of thing. The text code, it's just like copy paste, right?
So do you recommend working on the same account for a whole game?
You can, but what we've also found is like some people work faster than others. So it's just like if some student, like, I'm trying to think what I want to say. It is beneficial to have your own accounts and be able to do it at your own pace, but then help each other. So what question do you have?
Can teachers share code with students?
So that's a really good question. So when you make a teacher account, the teacher is the one who can who has the login information. The student can't change it. So like technically the teacher can share code with the students by logging into their account. And that's the other way that I would think of like marking it as well, because like you have the information. So it's like you just go through, you log in, you play it, and it's like, oh, did it work? Cool, it worked, kind of thing. You can see if the student has finished the puzzle, but you can't like play it from your view. You have to log into theirs. And yeah, copy and pasting. But one thing, be careful of like floating blocks or like unused pieces of code. That's always like oh no, why is it giving me an error? It's because you have a random block that's like not being used. That's always the thing that gets people like as you're coding and you're just like going like super fast and stuff like that. I will.
The Swerve is becoming popular in FRC. Do you think Swerve is going to become popular here?
So I've only ever seen one sort of FTC robot, and en route to see this robot, I was talking to one of my FTAs about how absolutely ridiculous and it would never happen. And then I ate my words when I saw this robot because it was beautiful. FTC so far, like their thing has been Mechanum. Like it's the thing that can get you like maneuverability and stuff on the field. I think the kids that made the Swerve bot were FRC kids that wanted to like make their own custom Swerve, so they loved it. So I guess my answer is I don't know, because we haven't. I feel like FTC is just not exposed to it much, so we'll see. Mechanums have worked so well for them. It's the pretty shiny thing. Question? So we can just go to the site and then we can talk about questions ask me everything and anything about FTC. So yeah, this is this year's game. Yes, I thought I put this video in here, but I didn't. But yeah, this is a trailer we made for our competition field. So you can practice picking up the different game pieces, giving them to the human player. Human player puts the clip on. You have to pick it up again. Then you can score it. And then we also have a very simple climb on this one. So you can practice coding that. You can just play on the field. A lot of random things. Let's check out the field. So FTC questions. Okay, so the first thing I actually wanted to tell you was in terms of grants, there is a grant that's associated with FTC STEM. You didn't have to, but okay. Hold on. Let me. Why, if I even know where to find this. FIRST Robotics Canada / oh, grants. Maybe it'll take me there. So there is a grant related to FTC STEM. And so the idea for this grant is that you have to find, sorry, talking and trying to find something at the same time is not working for me. Okay, so I'm going to load the first puzzle and then I will explain what I was talking about. So we partnered with the Argosy Foundation, who has been a great help with just over the years of building this. And they wanted to support teams through FTC STEM. And they love the idea that it taught you something that would be useful for your season. So this is a little grayed out, but there's a lightning bolt in here. I very rarely see it. I should have picked one with not a grayed out one name. There are 15 lightning bolts that exist in FTC STEM. And the idea is you need to collect 13 of them to unlock a grant code. And the grant is worth $1,000 USD. There are only 15 of these grants left for North America. So, speedy. So do it now. Now. And so by doing the different puzzles, you, the line I've said 5 times now, you learn everything from going forwards and backwards to using sensors. This one will show up better because I promise you I have actually collected these things. I just have multiple accounts. No, this one's also grayed out. Okay, never mind. I don't know which one will have one that's not grayed out. Anyway, there are lightning bolts. Collect them. There is where it'll show up is when you go to your profile, you'll go to achievements, and it'll say FTC STEM Argosy Rookie Team Grant. It'll tell you which ones you've collected. You just need to collect 3. And then when you click here to learn more information, it'll take you to the site that kind of talks about the grant itself. It gives you what you need to do in step by step. So have your adult that is associated with the team that will be doing the registration to follow these steps. What's your question?
So you've started an FTC center. Are you able to locate?
So yeah.
When is the deadline to finish these by?
When they run out. They get processed every Tuesday.
Okay.
So right now there's going to be 15 left. So if you finish it this weekend, but also to be able to submit, you need to have started, an adult needs to have started the team registration process. When I say team registration, I mean do not pay. The biggest thing here is you cannot pay or else that makes you ineligible for the grant. But you need a team number and you need the adult to have started their youth protection screening process. So if you can get your adult that is associated with the team to start it and start collecting their lightning bolts, since we're down to the wire, it'll come down to the order of people submitting. So the sooner you, if you can finish a bunch of the puzzles maybe this weekend and then go to your adult and your teacher Monday morning and be we got extra funding, because the funding, the $1,000 will cover, for Ontario teams, will cover registration costs, purchasing your control set, your electronic set, and shipping of those 2 things to Canada. And then, so the next thing you'll need, the next major component is your competition kit.
I have some previously bought studio kits or a Tech Plus.
Those will work. Those are fine for the competition. But yeah, so those, we'll talk more about where your school came from in a bit, because yeah, we've provided kits to a lot of different places. So just figuring out, that'll help me figure out grants and stuff that you qualify for and things like that. Any questions questions about FTC in general? Like, okay, actually, we're gonna start here. Tell me more about your team. How did you find out about FTC? Why do you want to compete? Just like things like that.
So back when we were in elementary school, my school went to a FIRST Robotics competition,
Mhm.
and then COVID happened grade 7 and 8. So as soon as I got into high school, I started talking to different teachers, trying to get us to our robotics competition.
Okay.
And then finally, at the end of last year, we were able to find out about FTC by just reaching out, doing some research online.
Okay.
And as soon as we found out, we started reaching out. We were able to get a couple of competition kits, but we weren't able to register for last year's competition.
Okay.
This year, we're hoping to. We already have a couple of members that are hoping to participate. Yeah, we have 15 members, but we're trying to just get through the registration process, find out what kind of funding we can get because we're completely new to this.
Okay, so I will give you the spiel about funding. So biggest one is the FTC Sim grant. It goes so far. Then there's also a rookie team grant that FIRST Robotics Canada that will provide, which is $750. So that plus that can go a long way in terms of purchasing a kit would be the thing. If you already have access to Sudoku kits, then in theory you don't need to purchase kits themselves. But then in terms of costs after that, because I already told you the Argosy grant will cover registration. So then the other fee that's important to think about is the competition fee, which is $150 per competition. And teams in Ontario tend to play twice. We try to have enough plays because it just makes sense. You're always going to compete for your first time at some point, and you'll learn so much from that, just from what questions judges are going to ask, how to interact with teams, things like that. You'll learn a lot by being here today. Lots of the things, I know lots of these sessions are geared towards FRC, but things are still applicable. Like strategy, design, all of those things are very much applicable. The structure of programming, applicable. You're going to be programming in a different language or a different way, but lots of these things you can take. The design stuff, applicable in terms of how to look at the game, break it down. So yeah, in terms of your next steps is do you have a teacher at the school that's interested? You have two. This is amazing. That was my thing. Okay. On Monday, let's schedule a call with you guys and the teachers and myself, and I will walk you through literally everything that you need to do. And we will get you registered, and we will get you this grant. Okay, just start on the puzzles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one left.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Even better. Okay, cool. So we'll talk after this. I'll give you my contact information, and you will go to your teacher literally at 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on Monday and be like, we need to have a conversation. Perfect. But yeah, have you been to a competition at all?
No, sadly not yet.
Okay, so we're gonna play a fun video.
What's the
Dundas Valley. Yeah.
See, that'll mean something. I can't do the schools in my head.
in GTA, which is like important.
Yeah, there's a lot of GTA events, which means travel costs will be what board?
I haven't went with two. We're just one of the smallest schools in the board.
And we're all the way on the other side.
Sorry, say that again.
We're on the other side of the so it's
Okay.
already.
I'm trying to think about thinking and typing is not my forte. I can't really need to use a different account when I do this. Okay, so competition. You've never been to one, so it's going to be. So we're going to show you. This is going to be our recap. Oh, let's place FRC first. This is our provincial recap video. I wonder if
Welcome to the 2023-24 First Tech Challenge Ontario Provincial Championship. We are here.
So inspiration from this, it's like team branding. Your pits are a place where you work on your robot, but also where you display just like your team. So how a competition works is in the morning, you have to do two main things. You have to get your robot inspected, and let's say three. You have to get your robot inspected, you have to do field inspection, and you have to go to your judging section. This is for every single event. After that, there's going to be a driver's meeting where you go and you listen to everything the head referee tells you and remember this information because it is key. You'll get your match schedule for the day. Sometime in between your judging session and the driver's meeting, and it's a randomized schedule. So your partner in one match can be your opponent in your next. And the way it'll work is that before your match starts, you'll want to get together with your alliance and talk through like strategy for that event, for that match. You will then go to queue and you will queue up for your match before your match time because that is very, very important. Do all your pre-match checks on your robot in the pits before you get to the queue. When you queue up, you'll follow the instructions that the head referee and the FG have told you in that driver's meeting, and then you'll play your match. Once all the matches are over, there's going to be a line selection, and that the top 4 or this is FRC. We might as well let it play while we talk. The top 4 or 6 teams. Now it's different. No, the alliance selection. I'm staring at you. I'm like, it's different now.
Yeah.
So depending on how many teams are at the event, it's either going to be the top 4 teams, the top 6 teams that get to pick their alliance partners. They pick one other team. So what typically happens during the event is that teams will scout other teams, see like what are you good at, where do you score, accuracy, things like that, so they can make a good decision for their thing. And then we play the playoff rounds, which actually happens in a double elimination format. So once you lose twice, you're out, and then we have a winner. There's also a bunch of different awards that are all listed in the manual. And so during your judging session at the beginning of the day with the judges, you can, essentially it's your time to present anything you want to present. So I think you get like 5 minutes to make the presentation. What we would highly recommend is looking at those awards and seeing like which ones you want to tailor your presentation to, right? Because the manual really tells you like what the judges are looking for the different ones. Honestly, you can come in and just talk about your robot if you want to. That's totally fine. Like it should not be a huge like pressure thing, but it's kind of fun to like have it really structured. Have every single person on the team like say something at least, and then the judges will have like 3 minutes or something or so to ask you questions. And then you'll also have other chances to talk to the judges during their pit visits and stuff. There's something that is no longer mandatory, but super great to do, and it's called an engineering portfolio. And during your entire process of working on your robot, strategizing, prototyping, all of that, you should be recording everything. One, it really helps you see how far you've come. And 2, it like gives you this whole log of like what you've done, so that when you go to make this engineering portfolio, so really condense and show the judges what you've had, you have all this content. Like even just writing it down, it's like, we tried this today, it was a complete failure, or like it broke in all these different ways. It's just like, okay, we got to fix that tomorrow. So what I suggest is that every day, like the last 5 minutes, either take a picture of what you've been doing or like just write a little log. It helps with communication too. So it's like if only a couple people are in the meeting one day, they can see what happened, and you can communicate that way. So it's great for communication. Very. At the event, it helps showcase what you've done and like your whole process, and like, you can point to things like, oh, it came from, we started here and now we have this, right? You can really point to it, and it really helps in like for awards and like communicating with judges. So while it's not mandatory, I highly, highly, highly recommend, like high key recommend doing an engineering portfolio. And we'll have, we're going to reach out to some of our veteran teams to give examples of their engineering portfolios so people can follow them. In terms of where to find information about First Tech Challenge, when you sign up, when we talk to your teachers, they will get automatically added to what we call our program update. Actually, I want to go back.
Good morning, team.
What's another one? Oh, we have a fellow here too. As well play. And so, what was I saying? Program updates. Your 2 mentors will automatically add it to the program updates. She'll get them all like the admin stuff when they need to do things, opportunities for students in terms of like events like this, things like that. You can sign up for them as well. It is free for, and literally anyone can sign up for it, so you can keep up to date with like deadlines and just like fun stuff. We recommend that people do because sometimes in the off season, like when maybe you're not in contact with your mentors anymore, we have scholarship opportunities or like event opportunities and things like that. So we post those. Yeah. Anything else with teams to know? Now I'm looking at you. He's an FRC
I'm sure
person.
there's a lot of, like, I guess, the resources that we have available.
Read the manual and then read the manual. And then when you're done, read the manual again. And then read it again before competition. Like I'm so like read the manual. And like the reason I'm so
Yeah, things come out fast at competitions. They go relatively quickly. I mean, for your first competition, usually it's definitely a big learning process. But the volunteers are very, I would say, like lenient and help you out through the process. But yeah, you get a real head start if you're like prep for different things. Yeah, and definitely talk to all the other teams there. Talk to the volunteers, all the best players. But yeah, some of the veteran teams will definitely give you a heads up on, especially before matches. They'll be like good resources for how to play them, how to do it.
and teams and one of the cultures of FIRST is that teams like to share. So if you have questions like how did you get from here to there? Or like how do you guys do that? Right? Like just ask questions. People will answer. Ed, anything from an event point of view? Ed hosts one of our events that you want teams to know.
The best suggestion would be to experience the event. You'll learn so much in your first event.
That's actually a really good point. Like if depending on when we do event selection, we'll do event selection. When we talk, I'll show you when all the events are and stuff like that. Your adults will do the selection. Everyone can talk. You guys can. The idea is that you all talk about it before, then they put in the selection. If there's an event before yours, like let's say you're not playing at like the first week event, it'd be great to go and see it and experience it. Talk to teams like you was talking about. And honestly, you can even ask questions to any of the key volunteers. Be like, we're competing, like we're rookies. We'd love to know just things.
Scrimmage.
Yes. Oh, thank you. There's going to be a scrimmage at. It's in Scarborough, but it is open to teams to come. And one, it's a cool. It's on a Saturday, and it's the Saturday before event, so it's November 9th. Again, it'll be in the list of all the events. And most teams in FTC don't work on the weekends. So it's a way for like the teams to come together and like work and see other teams, right? So you can ask questions there. There's going to be lead role volunteers at the scrimmage as well, including like judge advisors and things like that. So you can talk to them. They like talking to the teams to just like give you that experience of like, this is your first time talking to a judge. So when you go to a competition, you feel better about it. But highly recommend, even if your robot is in pieces, come and people will help you fix it. Even if our end goal for this scrimmage is always to get teams on the field to play matches. We only ever get like 4 matches done because we were like, no, we wanted like before, but like come have that be the first time you're like, it's totally fine if that's the first time you're driving on the field. But yeah, it's a great experience. You go.
I know there's a lot of 90s people here. Are you already in FTC team series? No.
Instead, we have a class at our school that does FTC.
Oh. That's awesome. I did not know that.
There are teams like local to y'all, like pretty local to y'all. One of them that comes to the top of my head is Makeshift Events at St. Mary's. They're very experienced, like the program in general. So might be somebody that you can reach out to. We probably could do it, but yeah, that'd be it. St. Mary's Catholic School. The team, if you look them up, is Makeshift Robotics. Makeshift Robotics, yeah.
I will show you, I guess.
Yeah, they come up and Google it. It's the first thing. When you look it up, Makeshift Robotics, the team number they go by for FRC is 4039.
Let's see. What can I come up with? 20. Oh, my information package. There we go. Let's see. Now I'm just going down what things you should know. Yeah. Anyway, officially the presentation's done. And feel free to go. We can just talk about FTC. I'll come to your table. Okay, bye.
Why did they drop the engineering help?
They dropped the requirement for the engineering portfolio because their feel is that we give the students a lot of different opportunities to talk to judges, and there's a lot of different ways for teams to communicate with the judges. And sometimes the engineering portfolio can be a barrier in terms of like a team might be amazing at talking, but like they just didn't have anyone that wanted to do that, or like it was a stress to do it, and it just feels bad to like have them not be eligible for awards. Okay, good luck.